Hello, and welcome back to Sharing a Chapter a Day. This is Do, Ra, me, and today I will be reading Chapter 66 of Engagement in Peril by Dara, Odoe, Sup. Chapter 66 is titled Second Psychiatry Treatment. Between 4 and 5 weeks into the officer candidate's program, I started having problems with my company and the boost staff and with people in charge of me, which eventually led me to decide to withdraw myself from the program. But the process of being kicked out was such a hassle, and they gave me such a bunch of bullshit, giving me the runaround and such. My problems were so overwhelming that no one knew what to do about it, and the whole situation worsened my state of mind and pushed me to the brink of insanity then, while in the same area and in the environment of Newport, Rhode Island. At first I was sent to see 3 different naval chaplains, which had nothing to do with my anguish and desire. Each of them gave me a different perspective on life and such. They tried to push me into staying and sticking with the program, but I refused. I was angry. I was going out of my mind, and all I wanted was to end it all, my life and my existence with them. It had nothing to do with my belief or religion, and they seemed not to understand that. They seemed to be pushing their faith and belief upon me then. I seemed to always being pissed off at the world, and no desire continuing my schooling. I had enough of it. I didn't have much to say to those religious officers then, and no one was able to help me. I was quite angry at the world, and I just didn't care anymore. I wanted to beat the shit out of everyone that looked at me awkwardly then, and my mind was not focused on finishing school. My mind and demeanor was focused on evil and sin. All I wanted was to get the hell out of there, and I didn't care how it was going to happen. Finally, after enough complaints and destructive behavior around and about the base, at my request and tearful demand, the battalion commander finally had sent me to the mental health department at a nearby naval medical hospital for psychological evaluation. I agreed with the suggestion and gladly took up the offer to get treated at the mental health department. I personally wanted to know what the hell was wrong with me as well. I was looking for a way out of this situation that I had gotten myself into. I was looking to better myself. Now, that son of a bitch Major was the reason for your anger and anguish then, Dara. Hope he burns in hell for you. He had no right to disrespect you like that. That damn Marine Major had no right to boast and shove his past in your face. He had no right to compare himself to you. He had no right to make those threats upon your persons then, Dara. You should have filed a complaint against him, but then again you were looking for a way out of there anyhow. All I can say now is that he will eventually get what he deserves in the long run. So with much anguish, frightening fears and desire to find out what the hell was wrong with me then, I reluctantly agreed and attend my scheduled meeting with the psychiatry department at the at the Newport Naval Hospital. On September 4th, 1998, I was sent to mental health department at the Newport Hospital and saw Lieutenant Commander Fitzhugh, who was a psychologist in his early 40s and quite knowledgeable and well versed about his practice. My first visit to his mental health office consisted of filing out paper and circling emotional pictures. I was definitely circle all the pictures that showed any signs of anguish and anger and misdeed, because I was so angry and frustrated then. Once I was done with me then, during our initial meeting, we talked about my state of mind and feeling about what I was going through mentally and physically these past several weeks at Newport, and also how I got to where I was then. I didn't bother to mention of him about Shin then when he asked about family, friends, and relation that I had with me then. I told him about my homesickness and that I felt that I was getting shafted by the government process and by Boost program, and no one knows what I was going through, and that I seemed to be pissed at the world for no particular reason at all. I also made some stories about hurting myself and other suicidal thoughts and tendencies that I had imagined or thought about. I knew how the psychology system worked then, and I took advantage of the situation, so I told them what they had wanted to hear and made myself seem real sick in the head, so they would have no choice but to let me go back to where I came from, which was back to San Diego, back to the Naval Medical Center. That was one of your downfall, Dara. You thought you knew what you were doing then. You thought you knew better than people. You played into their hand, and you helped ruin yourself then. If Shinshin knew what you were doing then, he would be so disappointed in you. He would have told you to keep at it and push forward with boost. But no, you had to seek help from your mental health state and get yourself kicked out of the officer program. At the end of our first session, Dr. Fitzhugh diagnosed me with adjustment and environmental disorder, where I am unable to adjust to my surrounding and environment. From then on, I was seeing the psychologist once a week, and I was pulled out of the boost program. Lost my nursing scholarship to any university of my choice and placed on medical holding because the psychiatrist had placed and reckoned me on separation from the officer program and possibly the U.S. Navy. Once I was kicked out of boost, I was reassigned to live on my own place on the cleaning crew with the rest of the people who were awaiting separation from the officer school or the armed services. So those who were assigned to the cleaning crew were assigned various tasks throughout the base, from maintenance and maintaining the base vehicle and machinery, building cabinets, cleaning up after active duty candidates, sweeping, mopping various buildings and throughout the base, and command. We were the cleaning crew. When I was in cleaning or building things on base for whoever, I spent my spare time at the student union, playing pool, video games, and ping pong, and watching movies on the big screen with fellow shipmates who were placed on the medical hold or have also been booted out of boost due to various conflict or misbehavior they have committed upon or amongst their peers or on the command. We were the outsiders then, and we were looked down upon by the other candidate who continued on with the officer program then. We were shunned by our peers. And since I was on the working crew, I was given various keys to various facility and such. I also used the base gym and exercise facility at any time I wanted to, whether it was noon or at 3:30 in the morning. I was very angry then, angry at the whole damn world. And mainly I was angry and pissed off at myself for being so stupid and reckless, for losing my one chance of becoming CNO. And I had to take out my frustration somehow. And working out my frustration on the weights and exercise machine was the one thing that I knew I could enjoy doing. I was trying to find a way to stay calm and collected. You were really killing yourself with those weights and exercise in the middle of the night then, Dara. You were quite insane then, working out at 3 in the morning. You sure were all alone then, Dara. I'm sorry for you. I pity you. Thank you for listening. This is the end of chapter 66. Be on the lookout for chapter 67, titled Duties While on Medical Hold. This is Do, Ra, Me, and I'll see you later. Thank you.